A police pursuit that ends up in a Florida landfill where the driver gets off practically naked, only in Florida. Welcome to the new Florida Only podcast, where we cover Florida-centric stories that may be of local, domestic, and or international interest. Watch the full Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputy Bodycam footage, and then we'll discuss where exactly this happened in Florida, what led to this arrest, and provide some commentary on who the arrested were, police tactics used, and what all the charges were.
Keep your hands right there where we can see them. All right, she's got her, I see her hands too.
Get your hands up. Keep your hands up.
Keep your hands right there. Do not move.
Is anybody injured? Hey, why can't you get out of the car, man? Okay, well, you should have drove in the woods, but you can get out of the car, so you get out of the car now. You're not getting out? That's a bad decision. I don't care. Get out of the car now.
Keep those hands right where we can see them. Keep those hands right where we can see them. Put them all the way on the roof. Touch the roof of the car. Yep. Unlock it. Unlock the door.
Hop out, man. Let's go. Hop out right now.
Got glass all over me.
You do not give orders here. Do not freaking move.
You're gonna get talked. Get out of the car.
I want to go slow.
Dude, you stay right there. Do not move. Stay right there. What the fuck are you doing?
Put your hand behind your back. Down.
I'm not.
Cover the car. Let's secure the vehicle.
I know I'm not anymore.
Stand up.
I am. Excuse me. I'm on her lot.
You got any weapons?
We have not checked the vehicle
Cover
yet.
my junk. Please leave that there. I got nothing on me.
Get her up.
Come on. We'll stand you up. Ready?
Let me just stand right here for a second. Collect myself. I'm standing right here to collect myself. Do not move me. Please do not move me.
Come on.
This incident happened in Flagler County on Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. But the video you just watched only tells part of the story because the genesis of this arrest actually began earlier, about 2 miles north at the intersection of State Road 100 East and Old Kings Road South, when a Florida Fish and Wildlife officer happened to witness a light blue color SUV drive through this intersection and hit multiple vehicles. The SUV then continues south on Old Kings Road at a high rate of speed. The Fish and Wildlife officer turns on his emergency lights and sirens to pursue this vehicle, which of course that vehicle did not stop. The SUV then bizarrely enters the property of Old Kings Elementary School and drives around the running track before exiting the school and continuing to flee south down Old Kings Road. Finally, the SUV takes a right onto the Flagler County landfill roadway and somehow ends up in the wooded area between the landfill and I-95. So let's trace this back in 3D using Google Street Maps. As you can see here, here's where the incident began when that SUV hit multiple vehicles at this intersection of Old Kings Road South, and there's SR 100. So they go down this road, the subjects, further down here. And from that intersection to the landfill is about 2 miles. And so they keep going straight here. And then you're going to see this elementary school here, right there. They take a left. They go back here onto a track. I have to switch views here to show you that. So here's I guess that's a running track. I guess they drove in a circle there. They come back out, exit the school, take a left to get back on the Old Kings Road South. And so that pursuit continues on Old Kings Road South here. They just keep going down this way. This way. Until they reach this area where they can turn right. If you look at the sign here, zoom in, this is the landfill area. So they take a right onto this little paved roadway. However, Google Earth cannot proceed any further than this. So that's why we're going to have to switch views here. to get an overhead. So here is the entrance to the roadway. I'm just guessing now based on what I could find that they probably drove like along this paved roadway here, drove onto the dirt here, and ended up in this wooded area. As you can see, that's 95. This is the landfill area, and here's the wooded area. So apparently there was a concrete barrier in here that they hit, and of course that's when the Flagler County Sheriff's Office video footage kicks in. Multiple Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived on scene and established a perimeter while Flagler County Fire Rescue Fireflight tracked the vehicle from overhead. FCSO deputies approached the vehicle, which appeared to be stuck against a concrete barrier. The driver and passenger were given multiple commands to exit the vehicle, to which they refused. Both the driver and passenger were moved from the vehicle by deputies, as you saw in the video, and placed under arrest. The male was naked except for a small covering wrapped around his waist and socks. It is unknown why the male was not wearing more clothing. The driver was 22 years old and his name was Stephen Peterson of Port Orange, Florida, and the passenger was 20-year-old Victoria Averill. Both were escorted to nearby patrol vehicles. Peterson was arrested for fleeing and eluding, leaving the scene of a crash with damage to a vehicle or property, resisting an officer without violence, trespassing on school grounds, possession of marijuana under 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia/equipment. Averill was arrested for trespassing on school grounds, possession of marijuana under 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia and equipment. Peterson is being held on $19,000 $500 bond, and Averill is being held on $3,000 bond at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility. And this is a quote from Sheriff Rick Staley of the county. Just when you think you've seen and heard everything, a naked driver causes multiple hit-and-run crashes, flees from law enforcement, resists arrest, and then has to be dragged out naked from his car to be arrested. Not only did this man endanger lives on the road and his passenger, but he also could have placed innocent children at risk had they been playing on the running track. I'll leave it up to you and your imagination on what was going on inside the car. Great job by all deputies and FWC's officers apprehending these individuals. If we look at the police video footage again, and mind you, I am not law enforcement officer trained, but this had to have been a difficult and challenging arrest for officers to make because this happened in a wooded area where it'd be easy for suspects to get out of the vehicle and be camouflaged by their surroundings. Also, officers couldn't just easily access the doors of the SUV due to the uneven footing of the ground and lots of obstructions in the woods, like the trees. I think I saw an officer break the driver's side window to get a better visual and to facilitate opening the door later. I like how the officers instructed the occupants of the vehicle to place their hands on the inside roof of the car. And I also liked how the police riot shield was used to approach the rear of the car, or the SUV, and the deputies then used that to help at least partially shield themselves from unknown dangers, especially from the rear of that vehicle where you saw there was a pile of clothing and junk back there that someone could have easily hid back there in that, rubbish. So they could have potentially taken shots from a hidden position. Lastly, I like how this ended quickly and the vehicle was surrounded from all sides and they moved in quickly. So that's it for this video. What did you think of this incident? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in another Florida-centric video soon. Take care, everyone.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.